Welcome to the Pirates podcast, to be named later, coming late Friday night, early Saturday morning, depending on how you look at things. Celebrating a lot of good baseball because it's the first half of the season is over, Alex Stumpf. And
Yeah,
as a baseball fan, it's a time for me to kind of like sit back, celebrate what's been this season in MLB, and just kind of absorb things. I want to get right to you. Have the Pirates overachieved, underachieved? Are the Pirates what we thought they were? What's your first half take on the Pittsburgh Pirates? Let's just jump right into it.
you know what? They are the anti Dennis Green. Like I don't think you could say that they are who they thought they were. Like I don't even know. I've been watching this team for 81 games, and I truly don't know how good they are. They are so streaky, and so weird stuff will happen, and then they lose Reynolds and Hayes after losing 12 or 13. It's like, well, the sky's about to fall. Except they rattle off 4 straight wins, and they'll probably get Reynolds back soon, and Hayes is going to be on the minute. It's like, okay, so what happens? This is a team that there's a, a little over a week left before the start of or before the All-Star break.
Yeah, about that.
I could see this team being 2.5 out at the All-Star break. I could see them being 9 games out at the All-Star break. Like, it really is just I don't know how to gauge this team. They're 39-42, which projects to 78 wins, which would be a 16-game improvement. Which I don't think anyone coming into the year would have been like, no, that's bad. No, you need more than 16-game improvements.
I think 77 or 78 is what I had them at. Yeah, I
Yeah,
at
but
the
the
beginning.
tooth pulling way to get there, it is.
Yeah.
It's been something.
What's crazy to me, and I just had this conversation earlier today. They are legitimately in the thick of things in the not even just the NL Central. They're only 6 games back of the wild card as of Friday. So it's not like they're completely out of things right now. And like you said, as streaky as they've been, they could get hot here. They could get some people back, and they really can make some noise in the NL Central and the NL wildcard race. It's crazy to think that sitting as of Friday night after the walk-off home run from Carlos Santana, they're 4 games back of 500, and they picked up a game on the Brewers. It's crazy to think that they're right there, but they're right there, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, you can't write off anyone in this division, and
This
that
division
includes
is
the
wild,
Cardinals.
man. It's so wild.
This is a bad division where 85 wins will probably win it, and all along, the vibe I've gotten from this team was if they are seriously in the mix come the trade deadline, they want to add. They want to add. Like, I guess it's going to come down to how far, what is serious with this team, what isn't, because one half of the season, no O'Neal Cruz for pretty much all of it. A lot of injuries throughout that starting rotation. This team is still in a position that the record is going to improve. If they finish with 100 losses again, like heads after roll after this, like just because it'll be such a catastrophic second half, everything went wrong type of deal.
I don't think it's that kind of team, though. I think with the
I
leadership they have in the clubhouse, I don't think that's the type of team this year.
No, and that's fair. I mean, speaking as someone who was in the clubhouse for a 100-loss team, they did not have a Santana, they did not have a McCutchen, they did not have a Hill. But
let me ask you a question. Even if let's say they're where they are now, all right, they're 4 or 5 games out of first place, maybe 6 or 7 games out of the wild card race come the trade deadline. Do you think that they stand pat? Do you think that they add, or do you think that they trade guys like a Rich Hill or a Carlos Santana, or what do they do at the deadline if they're where they are right now?
I think all things considered, there's like 3 ways this trade deadline can go. One could be modestly add.
Okay.
Other one could be modestly sell, which would be like, the guys on the expiring contracts, like Santana, like Rich Hill, pretty much anyone besides Kutch, because he's pretty much off limits for all of this. And then the third one would be, doing a little of both. I don't see that third one being the case if this team is. I don't want to assign numbers to anything, but if this team is within arm's length, I think it's the modestly buy. If they
I just don't
aren't,
want to
it's
see
the
them.
modestly sell.
I don't want to see them get rid of it. And I know that this could be recency bias with the game he had for Friday night. I really don't want to see Carlos Santana leave this baseball team. I think that he's an important piece in the clubhouse from a leadership standpoint, from a, to steal a Mike Tomlin word, a cohesion standpoint. I just think that he means too much to this ball club to where I think any return you get for him really wouldn't be worth what you're actually losing off the field.
No, like what you would get in return for Carlos Santana will probably be pretty minimal in terms of like prospect,
Mm-hmm.
player back versus what you said, versus just having that guy in the clubhouse. Now, it could be a different situation where, I mean, I'm going to just say this as a complete theoretical because Carlos Santana
Okay.
is very on board with this team. He is very much, a part of this team. He very much likes being here. But in a month's time, if it's clear the Pirates aren't in it, he doesn't have a ring. Maybe he wants to ring chase. I don't expect that to happen. I'm just posing that as a complete theoretical. In that case, you do have to honor the player. But like the vets here have bought in
Mm-hmm.
to everything, and they don't want to go. They are here for a reason. Like Kutch is the most pronounced out of it, but
So what you're saying
Santana's
is
bought in.
what you're saying is all of the rumors that we've heard about Koch leaving, getting traded, we could put those to bed and bury those.
I would be pretty damn shocked if he gets traded whenever this is all said and done. Like, just because whenever you brought him in, they were upfront with it. Like, whenever you brought him home, it was like, no, he's home now. Like, unless he has a change of heart or the production drops off, he's a Pirate the rest of the way. And I don't see the former happening.
When it comes to those kind of rumors, Alex, I think there's one thing that we can say about that. Consider the source. I don't need to say anything more than that. If you've heard the rumors, you know where they came from. Consider the source. Sources. I think I think anyone that has been remotely looking at this team or covering this team or following this team knows that Kutch isn't going anywhere, and I think we've already wasted too much time on it. Last thing for me, were you going to say something?
If you got one more thing, I was getting ready to throw to the second segment here.
Yeah, we'll throw to the second segment.
All right, because there is a question
I'll shoehorn
for you.
Yeah, I'll shoehorn what I was going to say.
Of where Kutch might be going.
Okay. All right.
Could it be Seattle?
Find out
game
after this. All right, man. If you recall our preseason conversations and predictions and all of that fun stuff, I said the Pirates were sending 3 players to the All-Star game. Now, the 3 players that I said were going to go were O'Neal Cruz, Ke'Bryan Hayes, and Mitch Keller. I probably end up being 1 for 3 on that. You don't
be 0 for 3.
You think?
Yeah.
You don't think Keller gets?
I'm not confident with Keller.
Okay, you got an 8-3 pitcher with
9-3.
9-3. Sorry, my fault. 9-3 pitcher with really good numbers. I mean, let's be real here. He's had solid numbers this year. Complete game shutout under his belt. Has been the workhorse of this rotation on a team that, as we sit here talking, is a 4 games under 500.
3.
Are they 49 and 32? Yeah, they are. I'm not good at math, Alex.
Well, you couldn't count to 9 a while ago. No.
Alex, listen, man. I'm letting everyone in on a secret. I sucked in school, and I still suck at anything that has to do with school. Math, reading, all of that.
Counting to 9?
Yeah, counting to 9. I'm bad at it, man. I'm bad at it. 39 and 42, 3 games under 500. You know what's bad about that? Real quick, I looked up at the scoreboard today at the stadium. I was at the game tonight, Friday night, and I looked up at the scoreboard. I was on the phone with my dad. He said, what are they now? And I said, they're 39 and 42. They're 4 games under 500. And he didn't correct me.
Providence cannot Second grade subtraction.
Anyways,
Yeah.
who's going to be on the All-Star team for the Pittsburgh Pirates?
I mean,
Alex Stumpf.
There is one absolute slam. If David Bednar is not an All-Star, I don't know who is, on this team. Like, he is better this year than he was last year, whatever he was an All-Star. And it's one thing that, a 100 loss team, everyone sends someone. Yeah, you can find a reliever in there. Like, but he's not Evan Meek. He's not Evan Meek in this. He actually, he's been dominant. He's been top. I'll be very generous here. Top 5 reliever in the game. I would say even higher than that. He ain't 5 in that. So, like, he should definitely be the All-Star. Keller, there were years whenever he would be an All-Star, where he would be the best player on the team, and he would be the representative that goes to, the All-Star game or whatever. But like you said, this team is 3 games under 500. I don't see them sending that many representatives, and it's kind of why I think if there is a second player who goes, it's Andrew McCutchen. Because this is someone who is near the top of every, National League DH, stat. He is more than holding his own in that regard. I believe he's second with like Jorge Soler for WAR for outfielders. Tied for that. I mean, Ohtani's number 1, obviously, but like,
really, that's shocking.
There's a gap between 1 and 2, believe it or not. But no, he's been one of the best. Major League Baseball has that new initiative for All-Stars where they give bonus points to veterans, to go through. That's we saw it last year with Miguel Cabrera, and I'm drawing a total. Was it Yadier Molina is the second one for the National League one?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it would have been Yadier.
I'm not right, like, apologies for that, but like, there's just like a lot of this guy's had a really good year. It's a great good feel story across all of baseball. I mean, I'm not coming here knowing I don't know who the All-Stars are, but if I had to, it'd be David Bednar, it'd be Andrew McCutchen to go along with the manager, Derek Shelton. So there's your 3. That's how you weasel out of this and still say you got 3.
I was gonna say, so do I get my 3? Let's just cancel out Derek. Do I get my 3 as for players? Yes or no?
No.
You don't think Keller, Kutch, and Bednar go?
I think it's more like the most likely outcome is just Bednar. Second most likely would be Bednar and Kutch. Third, in a very distant, but I guess still registering as some percentage chance, would be 3, and it'd be Bednar, Kutch, and Keller.
Will you go on record and buy me dinner if there are 3 Pittsburgh Pirates in the All-Star game? 3 players.
3 players. Okay. Yeah, I'll buy you dinner then. I'll buy you a steak on a stone from the North Shore Tavern.
You listen, there are 15 people following us live right now that have heard this. Hopefully a few more as this gets to be posted as a recording. Steak on a stone if we get 3 Pirates. I might have to make a couple of phone calls in the MLB.
Yeah. No, what's the payoff here? What I'm giving you good odds here. What's the payoff here?
I'll buy you a 6-pack of a beer of your choice.
Okay.
Ryan's got me. See that? I just grabbed the wrong. Ryan's got me. I'm trying to put this up on the screen. I'm struggling today.
Off screen there.
Yeah. All right. Man, listen, this has been as we said in the first segment, it's been a roller coaster of a first half of a baseball season. I think overall, though, it's really been fun. I mean, Major League in general. I mean, not even just the Pirates. This has been a fun baseball season. I've really enjoyed. You brought up Shohei Ohtani. I just, man, it's every time he does something, it's just impressive.
I mean, today, 30 home runs, halfway through. Dude, we're not talking about.
Dude, he hit a 490-foot bomb today.
Yeah, like he could legitimately do what Aaron Judge did, home run wise last year. in addition to being one of the best pitchers in the league. Like
What
this
what
guy
is
is the
your
greatest baseball player of our
I,
lifetimes.
I want to leave it on this for the second segment because this is just a out of no pun intended out of left field question. Where do you see his contract at?
It starts with a 5.
You think so?
Yeah.
So about 50 million then?
Yeah, give or take over 4 years.
4 years, 50 million?
Yeah. Pirates are in the running.
Is Shohei Ohtani coming to Pittsburgh? That's the third segment.
No, but you know what? I get to see him later this month now because we're in July, and I have not had the pleasure to watch him live yet, outside of the All-Star game in LA. But I don't really count that. I want to see it as, an actual something that counts towards the championship season.
It's one of those things, if you, as a sports fan, this isn't even baseball now, just as a sports fan, if you get a chance, if he comes to your city and you get a chance to watch him play, do it, because it's not going to you don't get to see this kind of once in a lifetime, once a century talent like Shohei. Let's take a break. We got one more segment. I'll try to stump Alex with something. We'll be right back after this. Alex, you've followed the Pirates for how many years now?
03 is whenever I
professionally, you've
professionally covering. I did a little, 2015 and around then. Was with Buck's dugout, full season credential in 2018, and then since DK since August 2019.
Okay,
so a minute.
How many walk-offs have you covered?
A handful. I'll say that.
Friday night was the first time I was at a game for a walk-off home run. It was special, man. It was special. It was something. It was pretty cool to see. There's just a crowd. I mean, they said the announced attendances were just under 30,000 people for Friday night. And I'm not going to get too much into this because I know that you're gamer and you've got a lot to say about all of this. But boy, what a special night at the baseball field! It was holiday weekend, a big crowd, division rival, and it's just everything that you could want in baseball. We had it Friday night. It's hard to, as one of my friends texted me, it's hard to not be romantic about this game.
Oh, it's the best sport for a reason. That was a big win for the Pirates. They needed something like that because, look, it's the Brewers. It's a divisional. It's Osvaldo Bido starting, and he doesn't, get off to the best start, and you're able to come back. A lot of times, that team would have just rolled over and died these last couple of years. That is going back to the first segment here, and I guess this is the way to put the bow on everything. This is a game they would have lost a couple years ago. Would have lost last year. Would have found, not even found. Like you're supposed to lose whenever you're down 7-3 in the 7th inning, but that's a good team win. That's a step forward in the right direction. It's why, even though the team's 39-42 and, not that far removed of losing 12 out of 13 and looking hopeless, where it's like you can't write them off yet, even if, the odds certainly aren't in their favor.
Yeah. If nothing else, it's setting up for an exciting second half of a baseball season. I don't know if this Pittsburgh Pirates team is going to be good. I don't know if they're going to be bad. I don't know if they're going to be somewhere in the middle. I don't know. I honestly don't know what to expect. Like you said, to lead things off, I could see them being 9 games back. I could see them being a game or 2 back. I have no clue, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I think there's a lot of storylines in Major League Baseball. There's a lot of storylines in Pittsburgh. If you're a fan, just sit back and enjoy it.
And on that note, I think we're going to call this episode.
Yeah, I think you've got some writing to do.
I do.
Yeah, so I'll let you get to that, and I'm going to go get ready to watch Little League for 12 hours tomorrow.
Yeah, fun with that. Ball is ball. Thank you all so much for listening and watching around. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe wherever you find fine podcasts. This one is here also on the DK Pittsburgh Sportsnet. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk again next week.